Hi, I'm over to TheAllSeeingCam, man. We back to the channel with another one. Today we are here to react to the verdict after the Meg Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez case. As we probably all know now, he did get guilty. But as we did all the recaps before, I just wanted to catch you guys up to speed before we jump to this point, just so you guys can see the evidence. Sometimes if you tell somebody off the rip they're guilty, now let me tell you it, they already go into the case with something already on their mind. They already prejudged. I wanted to give you guys the evidence day by day by day by day, so you guys can actually make your judgment first. See what you think. Do you still think he's guilty? Do you not think he's guilty? Do you agree with what came out? An appeal will happen. There's a lot of times that we do see trials don't go the way that we expect. Again, I'm not no one to speak out against anyone. I love everyone in this case. I believe everyone. My only thing is, do I think someone should go to prison over drunk memories, stories that keep switching up every single month when you ask them? They're like, no, this happened. This happened. The witnesses said one thing, then they said another. It's like, can you really trust it? Is it something safe that you can really put somebody in prison facing 22 years? And some people are like, he's not going to do 22 years. He's probably going to do 9. He's going to do 6, 7, 8, or 9. 9 years in prison? That still sounds low to y'all. That's still not crazy. He's not going to do the whole time. He's probably going to do 60%. It don't matter. Bro, a year in prison is a year away from your family, a year away from your craft, a year away from work. 9 years from the day that he is in, that's just online things that people are saying. Not for sure. The jury can say anything. We thought that he was going to get not guilty. He got guilty. At this point, he can get the maximum sentence. We don't know. It's just crazy. And he's not from this country, so he's going to also face deportation. He won't be able to come back to America. That's going to stomp on his money because that award shows, touring. It's crazy because Tory was getting to that level, man. Right before this whole thing happened with quarantine radio, everything was going great. A lot of conspiracies. You guys know we did a Travis Scott conspiracy before. Let me know if you want to do one of those again. We could do a little conspiracy video about Tory Lanez not wanting to sign and stay independent and then all this stuff happening. Again, that's all allegedly. That's just for fun. Take that with a grain of salt. We just do those conspiracy videos for fun. I like telling you guys every single time, do not go run with it. It's just something that we like to it's possible. It's possible. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this. It's killing me, but since we already know the verdict was guilty, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start reacting to all the stuff that happened after. A lot of stuff happened after he got the guilty case. The people said that it went, the courtroom went crazy. So let's all go through it. Somebody even got arrested or detained, rather say, and they got brought in front of the judge because they were trying to record when Tory Lanez was getting handcuffed, and his dad started going crazy, yelling "wicked." This is a wicked system inside the courtroom at the jury, and the judge, he started yelling that inside, and he got escorted outside. Someone tried to take their phone on and record. I forgot exactly who. I think maybe it was Lawyers for Hire. Shout outs to him. Every time that a case happens, he's always the guy I go to. But yeah, supposedly the guy got detained, brought in front of the judge, and he was going to receive punishment for recording inside and breaking the rules. First video, we're going to go over Lawyers for Hire. I kept saying Lawyers for Hire. This is why you shouldn't burn before videos. Lawyers for Workers. Yo, Lawyers for Hire, though. If somebody else wants to make a competition, y'all can take that ad. That's off the arm right there. $100,000 worth of game. $100,000 worth of game. That's who be on the Fortnite streams, yo. That's who be on the Fortnite streams. $100,000 worth of game. We leave the million to Gilly, but you know, we give you a little bit of game on our side. But all right, man, this ain't no laughing matter. Let's jump into it.
Was staring forward the entire time. They polled the jurors to make sure that what everybody was saying was in fact guilty. They went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 12. Every single person said guilty. Tory was taken into custody, remanded into custody. No bond at this time. Sentencing is set for January 27th. At the end of the proceeding, his father stood up, had an outburst in court. The sheriffs had to remove him. He eventually left on his own volition. He was not arrested. Another gentleman took out his phone, recorded the outburst. That gentleman is currently in front of the judge right now. The judge is, I guess, going to charge him perhaps with violating the rules of the court. Guilty on all 3 counts. Tory Lanez will be sentenced on January 27th. He has been remanded and taken into custody.
Let me also remind you, this was Friday, right before the holidays, that he got brought into custody. So it's crazy. He explains there how the guy got brought in front of the judge. So if you guys know exactly what happened, let me know down below. I never heard the follow-up.
By the Los Angeles sheriff. If you watch that trial, you can talk to me about that trial. Certainly if you're a defense attorney, I can talk to you about that trial. I'll tell you this about that trial. When I heard Kelly's testimony from the defense attorney about the fight between 2 women that went on for several minutes, that the big guy had to break up, that the one woman went back to the car, that he saw a flash, he saw what looked like the woman shooting into the car, fireworks into the car. When I heard all that, to me, reasonable doubt was there.
That's exactly what I kept telling you guys. What did I keep screaming? Reasonable doubt, reasonable doubt. I'm down 2. I was like, the story switched up too many times. There's no way there's enough evidence to put him away or say the word guilty. You're going to have to call reasonable doubt due to the story switching up and now being exactly different than what Megan said. And we have an eyewitness that It's not with neither party. He's the one that saw it from his balcony.
That was the pivotal, seminal moment in the courtroom. Then the prosecutor went out there, and the prosecutors and got him to say, or I don't know if the prosecutor said it, but it was the little man shot 4 or 5 times, and he was shooting with his arms outstretched like this. And everybody's kind of like, wait, what? And you couldn't put the two together. And in my head, I can really put it together, and it was so the defense attorney sort of put it together, but the way it came out to the jury, the way it came out on the transcript, I don't think the jury is able to rectify or see a sequence of events where the shooting starts with the woman and puts something other than an intent on the part of the man to take out and shoot against a woman. And I think that's what this trial came down to. Prayers to Tory's family.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing is confusion. Because he did say, yeah, I did see the little man shoot. But how is he shooting, waving his hands in the air like he don't really care, like Peter Pablo, like he was North Carolina? How would that shoot somebody in the ankle? Like, bro, he's short, but he's not that short. Like, now they're trying to shit on my man like he's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're wildin' now. He had his hand stretched over his head like Blueface in the Tatiana video, right? But somebody got hit in the ankle. It just don't make sense to me, is what I keep telling you guys. It just don't make sense to me.
Family, I saw reasonable doubt in that trial. The jury, did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? They reached a verdict, and that's what verdicts are. It's really not about right or wrong.
Exactly. It's not right or wrong. It's just what those people thought on it. Again, there were 7 women, 5 men. I'm not going to speak again against the jury. That's not education that I have. But if you guys have a brain, if you guys have judgment, if you were putting yourself in those shoes and you were standing in front of those people, and that's your case, or that's your family member, that's your cousin, we're not thinking about him as an artist. Again, if we think about him as an artist, obviously I'm going to have personal bias because he's one of my favorite artists ever. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about this case is just something that does not add up. If there was pure evidence that Tory Lanez shot a woman in the foot, music is one thing. Being a human is another. I would have been in there like, let me twist the key in there and lock him up. But that's not what we received. That is not what we received. We received a whole bunch of different stories. We even received Kelsey saying one thing on tape in September, then coming today and saying, I was capping. I lied on that entire thing just because I felt pressure and I went to protect myself. See this man saying he woke up due to a fight outside. He went outside. They saw a flash go inside the car. The flash came off from close to the woman. The woman had residue on her, but she was not tested for DNA on the gun. They only tested Tory Lanez, and his DNA did not come back inconclusive. How does 2 people have gun residue on them? 2 people have gun residue on them, but only one's tested for DNA. If it's a case and it's an investigation, shouldn't both be tested just to see exactly who's conclusive with that gun? It's just the right thing to do. The investigation wasn't done correctly, allegedly. I don't even know what I can get sued for, so I just say allegedly all the time. Allegedly. Shout out to Deez and Miri. That's what I always think about every time I say that. Just kills me, man. It just kills me, because it just shows again, bro. When you put a colored man in front of a jury and say he shot a gun, they don't care what the evidence says. You think they're gonna look at me and be like, yeah, he's an educated man. He graduated college. He works for a great job. He's a marketer. He does this. No, they're gonna look at me like, oh no, he's definitely sturdy and in somebody's video shooting a gun in the air. That's just, yo, it don't matter what the evidence proves, bro. Even as a woman, you should know that you can have a son, and your son will be, if he does ever face that system, this is the same jury system that he will face. Not right or wrong. But let's keep going. Then we see ABC 7 cover a little bit more. And I actually haven't seen this at all, so I want to see what they had to say.
A jury has found rapper Tory Lanez guilty of shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion after a 2020 house party. And now it is Israel Christian Cordero with more on the chaos in the courtroom after the verdict was announced.
Today, a jury of 7 women and 5 men decided rapper Tory Lanez's criminal fate. Guilty, guilty, guilty on assault with a semi-automatic.
All right, so these are his 3 charges. Assault with a semi-automatic firearm, guilty. Having a concealed firearm in a vehicle not registered, guilty. Discharge of a firearm with gross negligence, guilty. So, shout out to DJ Academics. That is one thing that he said. If he gets guilty for 1, he's going to get guilty for all 3. If he gets not guilty for 1, he's going to get not guilty for all 3. And here we saw that same thing happen.
Firearm, having a concealed, not registered firearm in a vehicle, and discharge of a firearm with gross negligence. Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, is convicted of shooting rap superstar Megan Thee Stallion in the foot after a house party in July 2020. Both sides built their case around jealousy. The defenses revolved around a jealous love triangle, while prosecutors shrugged that off as prejudice, saying her love life was only brought up in court because she is a woman.
Her love life was only brought up in court because she is a woman. Not because Megan, Kelsey, and Tory were in a vehicle together where an altercation happened and they were all three in a love triangle together. That's not the reason. It's because she's a woman. Not because that points to the reason why Kelsey and her got in a fight outside the vehicle. Allegedly, a gun was fired by Kelsey at her foot inside the vehicle as she was trying to get back inside. Allegedly. Not because of that, right? I'm not saying this man is innocent, but what he was being charged with that day was aiming that weapon at the foot and letting it go, aiming at her foot, saying dance. That's what you must keep in mind. It's not if he was a little angel sitting in the passenger seat with his feet crossed, because we don't know what happened. I wasn't there. What it is, we're putting this evidence and trying to paint this story together of him aiming that firearm at her ankle, or her foot rather say, telling her to dance and shoot. So remember what he's being charged with. That's all I'm saying when you're looking at this. So that's why the love triangle was brought up. It wasn't because she's a woman. Not at all. But when you're dealing with someone like Alex Shapiro, who's an amazing lawyer, those are things that are going to be fought.
Instead accusing Lanez of having a bruised ego, jealous of Megan's status, she testified he shot her after she insulted his career.
Constantly having to prove she's a victim because society sides with a man.
Megan testified on the consequences she has faced by bringing this case to court, but has felt the need to amplify the struggle Black women face in getting criminal justice as victims and feeling protected as women in the rap.
Not saying this is incorrect. Again, what I'm saying is they read the room and they knew how to play it. It's a courtroom. We're both in there trying to win. I get it. Everyone in there trying to win. That is a great narrative to play.
Industry. The conviction eases her of the former.
And don't forget,
her attorney tells ABC News, quote, "The jury got it right. I am thankful there is justice for Meg."
That was actually Alex Shapiro right there that said that.
District Attorney George Gascon says, "You faced unjust scrutiny that no woman should ever face, and you have been an inspiration to others across LA County and the nation."
That's the Los Angeles County District Attorney George. I'm not say that last name.
Tory Lanez and the rest of the courtroom didn't really have a reaction when the verdict was read, but immediately after there were so many emotions. His dad and his father's wife both stood up to yell at prosecutors, calling them evil and wicked. This was right after the jurors had exited the courtroom. So he was yelling at them. It turned into quite the scene. Tory Lanez at one point actually got up alongside his defense attorneys to try and de-escalate as they were escorted out, which took about a minute or so. And then Lanez surrendered himself to deputies who took him into custody. He faces up to 22 years in prison. His sentencing is scheduled for January 27th. In downtown LA, I'm Christiane Cordero, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
That is insane. 22 years in prison also shows you the man that Tory is. As again, I can only say great things about Tory Lanez. Every single time I met Tory Lanez, every single time I encountered Tory Lanez, straight off the arm, straight off love, that's what I always try to lead everyone with. You're the one facing those 22 years and you're getting a comment on your family like, yo, please just calm down. Y'all gonna make this shit even harder on me. And his son's dead, going crazy. I heard his son started crying and stuff, which I can't even imagine something like that. And Tory's side, having to see your son go crazy and you're facing all these years. Next time you come out, could be when he's like 27 years old, the kid's like 5, 4. Then I also found a clip of, this looks like the longer clip. Looks like the Shade Room had the exclusive because I couldn't find it anywhere else. Everywhere else is just when he's already about to end the speech. This is the entire speech that Tory Lanez's father said. I'm curious to hear the whole thing. I've only saw a social media posting, so let's jump into this. Tory Lanez's father said his son's conviction is a miscarriage of justice, calls out Roc Nation and Jay-Z in an emotional statement. The Shade Room, shout out to you guys. Always have the exclusives.
You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? Sure. I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst.
Also, you can't deny that that's not Tory Lanez's father. I thought it was Tory Lanez trying to escape. I'm like, yo, he's in a disguise. Who did they arrest? That's Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez came out. This is like a conspiracy video right here. Like, that's not him. That's not true. He did not need a DNA test, bro. That's his son. They're identical twins.
Miscarriage of justice that this world has
Man
ever
aged amazingly,
seen.
no
You
cap.
want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
I told ya.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. Amen. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tar and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator.
This is crazy. This is very emotional. We've been hearing this name, Sean Kelly, over and over and over throughout all these videos. You guys just let me know down below what you guys think about this. All I do is just bring this evidence to you guys. All I do is just bring what I see to you guys. I do sometimes let you guys know how I feel, and that's not to let you know how you should feel. That's just letting you know how I feel and what I see from this and what's my message. You guys feel different, always let me know down below.
Who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk. You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty.
That's right.
That's what I keep telling all you guys. Again, you might not like Tory Lanez. You might not be a fan of him. You might... Get past all that. The fact that it could be your future son dealing with a case like this. We hear about stuff like this happening every single day over and over in this country. And that's what you must think in mind when you see stuff like this happen. Not about the jokes that you see, not all the memes you see. You should always keep this in mind. That if it's not you, again, Tory wasn't doing nothing wrong. Tory was in $1 million neighborhood. It wasn't like he was in the hood. He was at Kylie's house and he got into some shit like this. That can happen to you anywhere you go. Anyone can put an allegation on you. There's men in jail today over false allegations every day. Am I saying that there was a false allegation here? That's not what I'm saying. I wasn't there. But with the evidence that we saw, do you think it was strong enough to face all this time in prison that he's facing, all the scrutiny he's facing? I don't believe so. I would refuse to say yes. Free Tory.
It's not over. It's not over. God does not lose.
Never.
And even though we have come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
This is not the
I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney, Miss Kathy Taj, is the same one that's witnessed or knew.
Yo, also the internet, you guys gotta chill. You guys gotta chill. I saw somebody saying Tory's dad's wife got a Tweety Bird shirt on and he looked like Tweety Bird. I was like, yo, can somebody deactivate the memes? Can somebody stop this shit? Please, y'all bugging out.
That 5 sheriff's deputies in LA County beat up a Spanish man with the last name Carrillo until the guy was beaten to and passed out. ABC News interviewed that man after Eyewitness News, and he said, I thought I would never be here to see my child born, and I would never been able to be around to see my other child rise up. But I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you.
He has kids.
Rock Nation! Because my son refused to sign a Rock Nation deal with you.
Yes.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Yes.
You turned on...
You wicked witch, you snitch. Facts, speak it up. That's crazy. That's another part of the conspiracy theory. They offered him a deal with Rock Nation is how he met them. When they said, oh, we met Tory at the Rock Nation brunch. Why do you think he was there? Why do you think he was there? That's exactly when he just left his last deal with, I don't want to say Interscope. I think it's Interscope. I might be wrong. This is just off the mind freestyling. He did not resign. Everyone was offering him a whole bunch of deals. That's around I think his last album might have been New Toronto 3. Or that might have been his first album by himself again. Just speaking off the mind, this is not with research. But right around that time, he was getting a lot of offers. Rock Nation was one of them. Is why he was in the brunch. Is how he met Meg. Is how he met Kelsey. Was they pawns to get him to come to Rock Nation? When he said no, you must pay. It's part of the conspiracy video. Again, all for shits and giggles. All that is cap. Allegedly.
On your co-conspirators, or the whole mafia one of you that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before so the Fed could give you a deal. All of you, trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you are cut off.
Yes.
No, We don't shoot you with guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
They all have children.
No,
They
sir.
all have children.
It's all
Let's see.
done.
That's right.
Let's go.
Open way, open way, open way, guys. Open up, open up, open up.
That dude was busting his ass up the stairs.
Open up. Open up. This way,
All nations try to mess with my brother's reputation.
Damn, that's Tory's little sister. That's super sad. Again, at the end of the day, we like Tory as an entertainer. We like Tory as a rapper. We like Tory as whatever you may feel is your connection with him. But at the end of the day, that is actually his family. That's his sister. That's his mother, stepmother. Rest in peace, his actual mother. That's his father. That's his brothers you see in the back. So again, we may feel a certain way because we lost Tory. We lost Tory as a fan, but they lost Tory as a family member, as a leader, as a provider, which is just insane to me. I'm praying that we hear more evidence. I'm praying that the uprising continues going. I pray that this appeal goes the way that we see. But it hurts me because now Tory's one of those. Tory's just another rapper, another, not even rapper, I hate saying that, another black man in the system praying on an appeal. Praying that the same court that did him dirty, or the Supreme Court this time, steps in to get it right. We'll see. I was going to do another video of the last video scene of Tory Lanez free as he's getting some lunch and stuff right before the verdict is read. This video is already a little bit long, so let's just end it here. I'm going to upload that one real quick next. And then after that, I just want to know what you guys think. Please let me know down below. I can keep updating you guys as much as we can, but I don't believe we're going to get any updates in this case until at least January 27th, which is the date that he's going to be actually sentenced. I'm terrified. That day, I'm terrified. I was praying that day never came. It looks like it's in front of us. I believe that he has to get sentenced first. After sentencing, then that's when the appeal begins. They can already start preparing for the appeal, but I believe you have to wait through that entire case. Let me know down below what you guys think. You guys need more evidence? Are you guys feeling like the jury got it correct? Are you guys mad about what they said? Let me know down below. And like I love to say, until the next one, we out here.